What's up, guys? I literally just got off the app with Dr. Bluebond-Lagner and Dr. Zhao at NYU Langone. I had my virtual consult for my lower surgery for metoidioplasty. It went really well, so I still have to go in for a physical examination. They didn't look at my junk or anything like that. I'm going to have to go in physically, which I have that appointment set up for December 22nd. It's in New York City, and at that time, they'll look and see if I'm a good candidate. They think with my BMI right now and the things I want that I sound like a good candidate. They're not going to know for sure until they look at me physically. So this is a video just about what I've learned. It's regarding metoidioplasty only. So if you're not interested in metoidioplasty and you're only interested in phalloplasty, or you're not interested in metoidioplasty at all, lower surgery at all, you don't care, you can just turn this video off because it will not interest you. So what they do is you have growth, and what Dr. BL does, Dr. Bluebond-Lagner, okay, every surgeon is a little bit different, but what they do is they cut the ligament, right? So the way Dr. Zhao, who is the urologist, described it to me, is that basically your junk is like this, right? Right now, your junk's kind of like this. And so they'll cut that ligament and it'll extend like this, right? Which is great, fine and dandy. It looks like it's bigger, right? Except for the fact that when they make the scrotum, what they're going to do is that's going to be there. So that's going to cover up some of that length. So they ask, first and foremost, they want you to rank what's most important to you. Standing to pee, the aesthetic, penetrative sex. Now, although, the aesthetic, penetrative sex, standing to pee, and what was the other one? There was a fourth one. Oh, sensation. Those are the four things they wanted me to rank. So, what they'll do is they take the gracilis muscle, which is a muscle on the inside of your thigh. It's an adductor muscle. Dr. Zhao said it's not used very much, and they use that to lengthen and build the urethra. Now, I may or may not be able to pee through my fly. That really depends on my length. Again, they'll have to tell me physically. I've been fortunate. I do have really good growth. I'm happy with that. But I also have a lot of skin, so it's hard to tell. And the downside also with cutting the ligament is that the erections can become less potent. There is a high possibility of that, and it can be a little flimsy. Now, there are people who've reported that they can still have penetrative sex. It's hard enough to do that. There are sleeves and other things that you can use, but that is a risk. That even though I can have penetrative sex now, my erection could become less potent, and it could become a little flimsy, and I might not be able to have sex. Now, I asked how, to go from meta to fallow, if I wasn't happy, I would think that'd be a more simpler process. No, it's actually not. And it actually can be more difficult because you've already surgically changed things. And now you're doing more onto those changes, which can increase your risk for risk. It can increase risk for complications, increase your risk for complications. So they would have to, again, make the urethra even longer through the phallus and do some other stuff. So ideally, they don't want to do that. Ideally, you want to be comfortable with meta and go that route, or be comfortable with fallow and go that route. So I think that's pretty much it. Basically, they're going to have to look at me in December and tell me more, but it sounds like I'm a good candidate. They're super nice over there. They can't wait to meet me. I can't wait to meet them. There was a little bit of confusion in the appointment because I am in Florida. It wasn't realistic to go to New York, quarantine for 2 weeks, come back to Florida, quarantine again. So what they did was there was just confusion there. They said it was going to be virtual, then they didn't, and then when it was back and forth for a week, and then yesterday they confirmed it was going to be virtual. Today I went on, and it wasn't. I was like, oh my gosh, I thought I was going to, not have the appointment. But it worked out. I had the appointment. I thought they were really nice. I thought it was really helpful. I didn't have a lot of questions going into it because I have been researching this for a while and talking to people for a while. But basically, they'll do everything. So to lengthen your urethra, if you want to stand to pee, which I do, and you go through that, and you want to pee through your penis, they do have to close the vagina, which is what I want anyway. They do that with a robot over at her office in particular. I don't know if that's everywhere. I'm just, again, speaking about Dr. Bluebond-Lagner's office. But they do that with the robot. And then they would use the labia majora to make the scrotum. Testicular implants would be at another time. Also, Mons reduction, which I'm pretty positive I'm going to need, would be at another time. The reason for that is because so much blood flow goes through that area, and Dr. Zhao said to do it all at one time would just be a bigger wound and would just be a more complicated procedure. So yeah, there's that. But everything else is pretty much done at one time. So it would really be 2 surgeries for me. They'll release that ligament. They'll release my dick. You know, we could call it a clit, but it's going to be my penis. And it is my penis now. So I just call it that. And so they release that. They build the scrotum. They do the vaginectomy. They do the urethral lengthening, if that's what you want, which is what I want, all at one stage. And then you come back after you're healed up for the second stage, which would be the implants, and they could do the Mons reduction. I hope that information was helpful to you. It's fresh off of my head. If you have any questions, drop them below. I'll be making another video in December. At this point, all I have to do is get my letters together from the therapist, from my endo, because he does need to rewrite that a little bit more specific to what they need. And then that's it. They also said for me to have them just say general surgery, just have all my letters just say general surgery on them. And once I get that to them, we'll work on a surgery date. And again, December 22nd. Merry Christmas to me. Happy birthday. I should be getting some fantastic news then. And I can't wait. I can't wait to work with the team there. Yeah, I'm just super stoked. So that's it. Any questions, drop them below. Anything you want answered in December, drop it below.